Hello students, let's proceed for the next section of rectangular window. In the last section we have seen the symmetrical approach of the rectangular window. Means if I want to, let's say, plot WR of omega or WR of e raised to j omega, it will show the frequency response of rectangular window, let's say for n is equal to 11. So for n is equal to 11 means it is ranging from -5 to +5. So for -5 to +5 it may have the approach like this. It is in an incremented fashion, so further it will be decremented like this. So it is showing this kind of nature. So when it is n is equal to, or let's say length of the filter is m is equal to 11, the same thing can be reflected in terms of the causal sequence like 0 to 10, since it is m is equal to 11. So for this specific purpose it will be in this manner. So again here WR of omega or e raised to j omega, that is plotted against omega. So to deal up with this kind of nature, let's follow this kind of practice to have the causal nature only. So the rectangular window function, that is WR of n, can be given as a value. With respect to this, the nature of the window will be what? It will be like 0. So here it is 1, everywhere the amplitude will be 1, and it will be like a window. So it will tend up to 10 for m equal to 11. Means when the filter is having the length 11, this is what the WR of n. Now it will have the amplitude 1. So to write this in terms of the representation, this is what 1, and let's say the value of n, that is ranging from 0 to m minus 1, that is the length of the filter. So this is what WR of n, and for rest of the cases it is 0. So let's write it otherwise or else. So for other cases, this is what the rectangular function. So once we know WR of n for this particular case, just we have written. So here value of m is taken as a 11, that's why it is written over here. Okay, now let's proceed to identify some of the diagrams related to the log magnitude response of the rectangular window, as well as the frequency response of the low pass filter using the rectangular window. How to get it? So for that one we need to obtain WR of omega. So Fourier transform for this WR of n. So to get the Fourier transform for this, we need to write the equation for the Fourier transform. What is it? So it is summation. It is ranging from n equal to 0 to m minus 1, and WR of n, that is what already we have done, into e raised to minus j omega n. This is what the Fourier transform for the given WR of n. So discrete time domain into the Fourier transform means the frequency domain, that is what the conversion we have done. But why this entire practice is done? Because ultimately we do have the expression h of n is equal to hd of n into WR of n. So by using this equation we will be able to identify the filter coefficient, that is h of n. So let's proceed for this WR of omega to get the frequency response or the magnitude or the phase response for rectangular window function. So for this we will just further simplify it. Let's say WR of n is 1 for the range n equal to 0 to m minus 1. So that's why this WR of n will be replaced by the value 1. So it will be written like summation as n is equal to 0 to m minus 1 e raised to minus j omega n. But here the thing which can be further simplified, since it is e raised to minus j omega n. We can represent this particular sequence of window, that is 1, as summation n is equal to 0 to infinity u of n minus u of n minus m into e raised to minus j omega. The idea is very simple over here. The idea is like, if I say this is u of n and this is, let's say, u of n minus m. So when we subtract, let's say this is a and this is b. So when we do the operation a minus b, that is what done over here. So obviously we will get the window bounded over the region 0 to n minus m, and that is what the window which is shown here. So this is how it is simply reflected in terms of the equation format. So for solving this equation, let me simplify it further. So it can be splitted with the summation n is equal to 0 to infinity u of n e raised to minus j omega n minus summation n is equal to 0 to infinity u of n minus m e raised to minus j omega n. Now let's consider this term as RHS. Now the Fourier transform can be simplified here in terms of the simplified trigonometric manner. So let me call this as A and this part as a B. So this is A. So we will solve for A. So that is nothing but summation n is equal to 0 to infinity u of n is 1, so e raised to minus j omega n. So we will write it a is equal to, so this can be written as a summation n is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus j omega raised to n. Now this is with the identity of summation n is equal to 0 to infinity a raised to n, which can be written as a 1 upon 1 minus a. So in terms of the same equation, if we apply at this point, it will be nothing but 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus j omega, and that is nothing but the value of a. So we got here the a. Similarly, when we want to obtain, let's say, the Fourier transform of u of n minus m, so what exactly it is? Since it is the delayed sequence, so for part B it will be like, first we need to obtain the Fourier transform of this delayed sequence. So it can be given by e raised to minus j omega m, Fourier transform of u of n, which we calculated earlier, that is 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. So this is what the equation for solving the part B. So part B will be here, and let's apply the same thing and replace it in this equation. So the equation for WR of omega will be, after replacing the value of a, that is 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus j omega minus e raised to minus j omega m by 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. So here the denominator will be the same, so let's take it common. So 1 minus e raised to minus j omega, this is 1 minus e raised to minus j omega m. Now let's simplify it in terms of the sign term so that it can be well applied over here. So this is j omega, So let's write this 1 in terms of the e raised to minus j omega m by 2 into e raised to j omega m by 2. So this minus and plus, this will be cancelling, so e raised to 0 will be 1. So that is what the reflection for this one, minus e raised to j omega m by 2 into e raised to minus j omega m by 2. So this is simplified over here, divided by, apply the same kind of concern at the denominator also. So e raised to minus j omega m by 2 into e raised to plus j omega by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega by 2 into e raised to minus j omega by 2. So this is how it will become. So let's simplify it. Take the terms common. So it will be e raised to minus j omega m by 2. After taking this common, so it will be in the bracket e raised to j omega m by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega m by 2. At the denominator also, it will be e raised to, let's say, minus j omega by 2, and this will be nothing but e raised to j omega by 2. This is the common term, minus e raised to minus j omega by 2. After solving it further, let's apply it here. So this will be e raised to minus j omega m by 2. Let's multiply it by 2j and divide by 2j. So it will be reflected like 2j. So let me write it here. This will be multiplied by 2j. Again at the denominator, same practice is done. So 2j cancel, means meaning will not be lost. So 2j into this is nothing but actually what? Sin theta. So here sine of omega m by 2, that is what the value we will replace. But what about the denominator? Again the denominator, this is nothing but e raised to j theta minus e raised to minus j theta divided by 2j. Right now how exactly it is reflecting? It is like, let me write it here, e raised to j theta minus e raised to minus j theta by 2j. So multiply and divide by 2j, that will give the same thing. So this is what sin theta. So when we write it here, so obviously this factor is replaced by 2j sin theta, 2j cancel, so it will be sin theta. Similarly at the denominator it will be sin omega by 2. Similarly let's adjust it, e raised to minus j omega by 2. Now by writing it in a more simplified manner, this equation can be written as a, by taking this term to the upward side. So it will become e raised to minus j omega m minus 1 by 2. So just check, e raised to minus j omega m by 2, e raised to j, this by taking to the upper side, plus j omega by 2. So this will be sin omega m by 2 by sin omega by 2. So this is what the entire term. Now to solve it further, when we want to write it like magnitude as well as the phase, so this particular term e raised to j and the angle, this will become its phase. So angle or the phase, and this term will become its magnitude. So let's write it like this. Let me write it at this space so that it will be well understood what exactly we have done here. So this part I will just write down in terms of the magnitude of the rectangular window. So what is its magnitude? So that is nothing but mod of, because this ultimately equation we solved it for WR of omega. This is nothing but the WR of omega equal to this entire term. So when we want to take, let's say, mod of WR of omega, it is nothing but mod of sine omega m by 2 by sine omega by 2. So this is nothing but actually the magnitude. Similarly, the phase can be obtained, that is, phase of this WR of omega will be equal to what? The angle which is just made over here. It is nothing but omega into m minus 1 by 2. So that is nothing but the phase of the rectangular window function, and it can be plotted whatever we have seen in the earlier way. So this is all about the discussion for rectangular window function and how to get its magnitude as well as the phase response. Now this will be plotted as we have seen in the earlier case. So you just vary the value of omega from 0 to pi or minus pi to plus pi and cross check what exactly the magnitude you are getting. It will be better if you just vary the values from 0 to pi, so that you will get the causal approach for the filter design. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much.